Hello, beautiful, wonderful people. Hi, how's it all going? Thank you so much for coming along. I appreciate it. Welcome to the Atomless episode 21. And the surprise, we said last week there was a surprise and we didn't tell it. We have a fucking surprise, our first ever guest. We got WallE here. Cheers. I'm gonna put in Foley of cheers here. We'll go around and we're gonna do some socials. And I've given everyone a task, which is when everyone introduces themselves on socials, they have to say their favorite movie from 2005. Hello, everyone. My name is Captain Crail. On all things, I edit this and do this, and that's pretty much my whole little shebang. I see now this is a problem because I did find out that Final Fantasy VII Advent Children came out. However, 2005 Keira Knightley Pride and Prejudice came out, and that film fucks so bonkers hard. It unlocks something in me every single time I watch it. I love it so much. The hand flex, I think, is one of the sexiest things in the entire universe. Someone else can go pick up. Who wants to go next? Who wants to go next and introduce themselves with their favorite 2005 movie?
I do. Hi. Hello.
Hi,
I'm Dylan, or Super Dylan, everywhere on the internet. I write games and then I play in them. And my favorite movie that came out in 2005 is The Island, with Ewan McGregor and Scarlett Johansson. I don't know. I haven't seen it in a really long time, but for probably a decade, I forced everyone who met me for more than 10 minutes to watch that movie.
I just want to say, you know who has watched it recently? Matt and I, because for some reason we watched it at the Airbnb during a wedding recently.
Oh boy!
And I say it's good? No, but oh my god, is it fun?
Yeah, it's fun. It's
great.
The whole, how did I describe it? The whole first part is a really cool action movie, and the whole last part is a commercial produced by Michael Bay.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
In that same trip, we watched a bunch of movies that day because we started with the Emoji Movie and then we went on to 9, which we watched.
I'm sorry, but you said you started off with the Emoji Movie.
Because...
That's like saying, you know what? I walked into the room and I ripped the loudest fart right before I said.
Right. So we went into this Airbnb and they had one of those TVs that have the backing LED lights that match the action going on screen, and we need the loudest, brightest movie. Let's give Emoji Movie a try. And you know what? It's a dreadful film, but with the LED TV, it looks pretty. It's definitely very nice.
It was.
I don't know why anyone would willingly drink poison just to see fun colors, but you do you.
Well, that's drugs.
A lot of people do that all the time.
It's important to mention here that I don't take drugs either. So I take medication to stop my brain from seeing funny colors, if we're being honest.
Sure.
Also, oh my god, who are you even, and what's your favorite movie from 2005? Since you're... Oh no, Dylan, did you just said your favorite movie? Oh no, you introduced yourself. I mean, Nordinally. Nordinally, who are you?
I'm not 100%. Who am I? It's a big question for a very small man. I'm just your average writer. I'm a TTRPG person. Sometimes I appear on your screen or in your ears, just talking about tabletop. Other times I sneak off into my own little world, and you'll never hear from me again. Who knows? Maybe one day I'll just disappear, and that'll be it.
And when you sneak off, what is the one movie from 2005 that you will absolutely put on at the bottom of a hat?
I don't think there is one. By the way, you can find me at Werewolf Feels all over the internet. That's important to mention. This is a difficult time for movies, right? You've got tons of different things coming out at once, all sorts of stuff. We were talking about this behind the stage, but we've got this is the reemergence of the very Christian-inspired mythology film has come, thanks to Passion of Christ, just a bit earlier. This is a boom in animation happening right now. Bollywood is entering kind of what I'd argue is its second moment of relevance after the 90s. Also, queer films are now huge. So, Brokeback Mountain came out in 2005, right? I think if I'm going to narrow it down to one, the one movie that I will watch, the popcorn flick, if you will, is Bunty or Bubbly, which is a Bollywood movie about two people from poor towns escaping their poor towns and their supposed fates to become basically Bonnie and Clyde.
Love that.
It's pretty freaking hilarious.
Can
It's
I get
just
the name of
tons
that one more time?
Bunty or Bubbly. So Bunty space AUR space BABLI. I don't know if it's a good movie, but I do know that I can put it on at any time and laugh a couple times. And that's all that matters, because they try to convince a white man that he can buy the Taj Mahal. And he believes them.
What?
Anyway, that's it for me.
Oh, okay. That's. I need to see that movie, because that just sounds like pure hijinks, wacky fun that I love.
Yeah,
It is hijinks, wacky
Yeah,
fun,
it is
indeed.
hijinks, wacky fun. I guess I'll go next.
Yeah!
What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? It's me, WallE, your favorite non-binary slime on the internet, who is here in your ear holes on your Atomless podcast. You can find me on the Twitter at WALE132, like the cute little Disney robot, where I'm talking about all the things that I'm in, the things that I do, and what's on my brain, which is mostly pro wrestling, Super Sentai, and I don't know, snacks.
Mmm.
And when you're eating these delicious snacks, if you were to put on one movie from 2005, what would the movie be?
Thank you for asking me, Matthew. I thought about this for a very long time. Now, let me tell you something about 2005 movies, people. 2005 movies was pretty much a 50-50 in Renaissance, because there was a half of 2005 movies that were coming out in America, which were choice movies. Choice movies. But the majority of films that came out in America in 2005 were all B movies. We had Aeon Flux. We had Constantine. We had what else did we have? We had Shark Boy and Lava Girl. We had V for Vendetta. We had Into the Blue. We had Triple X, not the good Triple X. We had Triple X State of the Union when they couldn't get Vin Diesel because he was making that Fast and Furious squat. But we had Doom. We had Doom. This is one of the first big video game franchise movies for one, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Dwayne, I'm sorry, I love you, buddy, but come on, you really need to know what an anti-hero is. But anyway, I digress. What is
You're the best Marvel movie, Elektra.
Canonically, the best movie.
Canonically the best, yeah.
Canonically, yes. But my 2005 movie, I had to really think hard about this, because there were so many cult classic movies that I love that came out this year. And I will say the movie Stealth. The reason why I loved the movie Stealth in 2005, one, is basically it's a great Jamie Foxx like popcorn action movie. Like, it's really bad, but it is a Jamie Foxx popcorn action movie. So it's Jamie Foxx just cracking jokes all the time. He's like, "Oh, what's going on? Oh, I'm black and fighting robots." But it's also like for like in the anime community, specifically for the mecha community, we call the movie Stealth the live action Macross Plus movie. Because Macross Plus is a movie, an animated movie that came out in around the 90s that takes place in the Macross universe, or the Robotech universe, as people may also know it. It takes in as a single standalone movie, and it's about where the UN Spacey, they decided to make AI to put inside of ships so that they could fly alongside with real pilots. But there is another pilot named Roy Fokker who is another test pilot who was set to be like, hey, a whole man versus machine kind of thing. So it pretty much blows up in this whole thing where it turns out it's this man versus machine where the AI eventually goes nuts and tries to kill humanity. But the great thing about the Macross Plus movie is that the dub is the first acting time we've had one Bryan Cranston acting on screen. Yeah, that's one of Bryan Cranston's first starring roles. So, yeah, if you ever want to hear a little young Bryan Cranston lend his voice to something, check out the Macross Plus movie. He stars as the main character, Roy Fokker. Also,
that's bonkers.
Also, Macross Plus has one of my favorite anime soundtracks. It's I could listen to the movie from Macross Plus all the time. It is choice. But yeah, the movie Stealth is my favorite movie from 2005.
Beautiful.
As I talked about Macross Plus and how much I love that movie.
Brian, Andre, who has a 2005 best movie
I want to
answer?
go last, so I make sure I don't take anybody else's.
You're not going to take mine, I promise you. We've talked about a lot of genres here today for 2005 films, but I would like to mention 2005 was also a bit of a banger year for documentary films. But in general, with things like Our Daily Bread, Deadliest Catch, even though it's a TV series, that was the first year that aired. But also, March of the Penguins was released that year, which was a huge moment. That was one of like the most popular films.
Blockbuster.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
like the biggest documentary I ever heard of. Yeah.
That was the documentary that made Morgan Freeman a meme.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was probably what memeified Morgan Freeman. Also, Living with Wolves, which is great. If you want a David Attenborough documentary, Life in the Underground was released that year. But my favorite film from 2005 is Werner Herzog's Grizzly Man, which is about
wow.
Yeah.
It's about a guy in Alaska who thinks he's like the savior of bears.
He's a silly guy.
And then nothing goes wrong.
Nothing goes wrong. Nothing goes wrong. It is also legitimately fascinating because there's you start the movie like, this is really stupid. Like, he's actually an idiot. And then midway through, you're like, he's fucking crazy, but I kind of, like, this is interesting. But then you're like, oh, wait, he's still an asshole. And then he dies.
Yeah.
Spoiler warning.
There's one
But
scene in particular.
He's been dead for, 17 years. So,
Yeah. Yeah, we can't dunk on him anymore, really. He's gone. But
you can dunk on him. He's not that great a person.
There's one scene from that I will remember for the rest of my life, and it's the scene that made me really realize that he was absolutely just completely deluded. But he was this fox took his hat, and he was like, me and this fox are having a little game. We're playing a little game together. The fox was like, no, I'm gonna tear this hat apart. I'm a fox. And I was just like, oh no, oh dear, we're in trouble. And he was.
Yeah.
Also, I'm Andre Rivera.
There we go.
There we go. Commission me. Check out my website, andrevera.art. That's it. I just wanted to talk about Grizzly Man because that's legitimately one of my favorites.
It's really very good. We had to watch it in uni. Yeah.
Yes.
And last but not least, beautiful, wonderful Momo O'Brien. Who are you? What is your favorite movie from 2005?
Hello, I'm Momo O'Brien. You can find me everywhere at Momo_O'Brien. I make content about immersive experiences, and while I'd like to give a special shout out to Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants and Nanny McPhee, I think that the Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the
Absolutely cracking.
Yes.
So good that I literally watched it the other day.
That, but yeah.
Nanny McPhee is a franchise that doesn't get enough love, and it really upsets me. I don't know why there's not more people talk about Nanny McPhee. It really upsets me.
It's really good. Yeah.
It is really good.
Yeah. That's actually also weirdly both. So like last week or something, I was super bored and I whacked on Narnia, Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, because I was like, I just love this movie. There's a big fight scene with a bunch of mythical creatures, and I think it's the coolest thing in the world. But Nanny McPhee was a definitely close second on that, because that's one of my comfort movies. Love Nanny McPhee.
I like how one of my hottest takes is the costuming for Narnia does not get enough credit.
Yes,
not just good.
It is very good.
Yeah,
it is very good.
It also has one of my favorite lines in any fictional thing ever, which is "Don't cite the dark magic to me," which I was there when it was written, which I think is so fucking cool.
That's such a banger line. It also has one of my favorite lions in any movie.
I remember
Aslan's
telling my sister Aslan was Jesus for the first time, and she lost her mind and continued to lose it for the next year.
Yeah.
every minute, I did something bad, she said, "I still haven't forgiven you for telling me that Aslan is Jesus." Well, he was.
The books go bonkers. They have there's a whole Tree of Life, Adam and Eve is in it. it's
Oh,
it's
the
wild.
parallels.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the parallels
The
were like
parallels.
heavy-handed
We're giving
right there.
C.S. Lewis a little too much credit there. It's just
Like,
Yeah. Just
directly
thefts.
I think it's important to
hail
give
off
him.
the page.
I think it's actually important to give him credit here, but not that kind of credit. It wasn't a parallel. It was designed to be a kind of a rewrite for kids to
Yeah.
introduce them into the
Like-
And there's
their own
multiple
mythos.
universes. It's great.
like if I remember, I don't know if this is totally true. Someone like cite me on this, but I do recall that like when he wrote this, he kind of wrote it as someone challenged him. Can you make like a Christian allegory for children? I think it was something along those lines. Like he was challenged to make a Christian allegory because he was a Christian writer, and he was challenged to make a story that anyone could just pick up and read, no matter who they were. And I think that's what it was. And I think like Tolkien was involved with this too, or something.
Tolkien criticized
Yeah.
him for it and said
That's
it
what
was
it was,
too
yeah.
obvious.
That's what it was.
It was too on the nose.
It's
Gotta
for
tone
children.
it down.
I
But
will
it's-
say this.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I still haven't forgiven him for what he did to my girl, Susan.
Susan,
Susan deserved better.
Susan deserves
so
so
much
much
better.
better.
Her life breaks my fucking heart.
Susan deserves so much
Rips-
better.
Rips my heart out. Her story. Oh my
It's
God,
a
I can't think
goddamn
about it.
apocalypse. Let her
Like-
go to heaven. Just
Also,
because
Susan
she
was
likes
freaking
lipstick.
OP.
She was. Like, there's a reason they called her Susan. She was wise and just, and
Yeah.
you can see. Anyway, I'm not going to get into it. I could go on.
I
forever
like
about this
You
movie.
said what needed to be said.
Yeah. No.
Yes, you did.
Susan deserved better. Though.
Speaking of which, we're not going to let you get away with this, Matt. What was your favorite 2005?
I said
film?
it was.
Oh,
I
you
said
said-
it was. It was Pride and Prejudice 2005
Yeah,
with Keira
right.
Knightley.
Yeah,
Oh,
Hannah
okay.
likes
I
it.
thought you were just mentioning that. Okay.
No,
Yeah, I
it
thought
was.
you
It's.
mentioned
I fully like every. See, because it was. Lion Witch in the Wardrobe was definitely close, as was Final Fantasy VII Advent Children, because I'm a big Final Fantasy fan, and I want every fight scene in anything I do to look like that bloody thing.
Oh, yes.
I also distinctly remember the first time I watched it because I bought it online and I was sat in the front room and I watched it 3 times in the same day. I watched it and then I started over again.
Same. I did too.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I watched it so
The,
many
uh,
times in one day.
The only other film I've done that for is Emperor's New Groove, and that is Emperor's New Groove is one of my top 5. I love it so much. But Pride and Prejudice is like it's just everything about it is just so good. Again, the hand flex scene is such a beautiful show of love. I love it. Anyway, do you guys want to fly through space and
Space.
stop talking about 2005
Peace.
movies we like?
Hey,
Previously on The Atomless.
He.
Ike, she.
My name is Theriak.
What's up? My name's Sky. Welcome to the Patchwork, my dudes.
You have a lead on where the next crystal is, the planet Nos in the Vanir system. Pulled back into your chairs as the Atomless sea out in front of you breaks into a multicolored wormhole. Scrap says that you have 6 hours of travel left. A light goes off in the pilot's area. I think we're about to hit something big, so we gotta get out the drift, so if everyone can sit down just really fast. Each of the shields breaks. Everyone put on your oxygen masks right now! Right now! It's just about to breach the ship. We are about to lose all of our oxygen. Everyone who's in the main part of the ship sees this huge claw burst through the back of the ship.
I'm going to try something. Be prepared to go very fast. Retool something extremely quickly. Shove this thing into the nearest USB port and just pray.
Engines burst, and then the ship flies off. 9 planets that you can see stretching on a planet in front of you. Almost entirely desert. Huge cavernous holes you can see burrowed deep within it, almost like the planet itself is trying to break apart. The Patchwork unable to slow. The Patchwork almost completely destroyed, bursting into splinters as you all fall onto into a seemingly infinite dust-ridden desert. You have arrived at the planet Nos. The Vanir sun paints a Dust Bowl town in the green light that its residents know as home. Wind blowing in from the vast deserts carries sand through the town like weary travelers, the only friendly company this town sees. A tumbleweed gets picked up and carried over the sand-logged rooftops through a holographic sign that almost crumbles from its constant watch. "Welcome to Nutrino Downs," the sign says, its neon buzzing only matched by the humming of the weak and nearly exposed electricity cables that cross from building to building. A dusty knoll covers his hyena face from the sand as he leads a large wagon full of trinium ore out of the mine, hidden behind a large sand dune. As the knoll struggles up the makeshift path home, they hear a creature approaching. They look as they see a Gripply, a toad humanoid, ride up alongside them on a large lizard that they're using like a horse. The Gripply gets off. "Well, what are you doing all the way out here?" I don't want any trouble." "Trouble? I ain't here for trouble. Your haul looks mighty heavy is all. Can't carry all that back by yourself. It'd be a waste to drop dead before you get back to Nutrino Downs. Why not share the load?" This is my haul. You get your own." "I wasn't asking." The Gripply pulls back their poncho to show a laser hand cannon. "I'm just being friendly." The sand uncomfortably shifts in the silence before the knoll sighs and begins unpacking his labor for the day. Then the sand shifts again, differently this time. A snort of a steed alerts the two to a new player in this interaction. A girdled lizard, ridden by a Yoski, silhouetted by the setting sun, stands on a dune. WallE, would you like to introduce your character, please?
So you see this thorned lizard, the size of a horse, standing on top of this dune, and sitting on top of it is Isoki that looks like a jerboa or a kangaroo rat. They are long legs, like wrapped around the body of this large thorned lizard. Hats sitting on top of their head, their little mouse ears poking out from under the sides of it, tipped over. You don't see his eye, just see his snout sticking out. And this poncho is draped over his body completely. And he then just does a little bit of a noise of, back where I'm from, that's not a kind of a friendly greeting I like to see. Sometimes a friendly greeting I like to do is a nice hello, or maybe a how do you do, not one with stuff that you have right there. And he gives the lizard a little bit of a kick, and it starts walking towards these two.
"Well, hello there, Sheriff. But this is Baron business. There's no need to get involved."
Well, I hate to say this, but Baron business automatically becomes my business. So what I'm going to ask you to do is, I'm going to need you to drop what you're doing, turn around and let this poor gentleman go back to the work that he was doing.
The silence is only met by the winds that have picked up slightly as if they want to watch this interaction. This Gripply stares you down, and then their right arm shifts to their side. Can you make a reflex check, please?
Okay. Let me bring this up. Okay, so my reflex check for this?
Please.
Can I make this also a sleight of hand check because of my
Yes.
feat? Nice. Oh gosh, that is a 29.
The Gripply's hand shifts to behind their poncho, pulling out their small lasered hand cannon. They fire, but they are not quick enough as you shoot first. Where are you firing? Are you firing at the gun? Are you firing at them?
It's not even like you don't even see the movement. All you hear is a bang, and it is an actual like bang noise. And you see this bullet just hit this right in the hand to knock the gun out of their grip.
The gun out of their hand. They turn immediately, knowing that they've lost this fight. Their lizard shifts backwards and gets ready to ride. They grab onto the side of their lizard. And like, the Baron will hear about this, Sheriff. We'll be back. We always are.
I know exactly at 2 p.m., 5 p.m., and 11 a.m.
The Gripply on the lizard falls away. The Knoll, who you know as Yelp, this brown matted fur, and they have these white stripes on their face. They're a little older. They almost are the only person who goes in and out of this mine, picking up the ore that is inside. Thank you again, Poncho. I wish you didn't have to keep coming out here and saving me, but I appreciate it.
Oh, well, let me tell you something, Yelp. As long as you go back and forth from the mine, you give me a reason to come out here and patrol these areas. You provide this town with the lifeblood it needs. I'd be not much of a sheriff if I wasn't helping you out.
I do appreciate it. They haul their cargo back onto their wagon, and as both you make it back toward Nutrino Downs, the town, only being about 15 to 25 people who live there at any one time, is about as lively as it can be. There's music coming out of the inn, as well as almost the only light that is currently up in the town is flowing out of it. You help Yelp unload their cargo and go inside the little shop that they own. They come out with a small cred stick and a glass of the beer that is made in this town. For your trouble, thank you.
He reaches out, takes the beer, puts a hand over the credits, and just pushes it back into Yelp's hand. Now, Yelp, you know your money's no good here.
I appreciate it. As they walk back inside, you soak in the surrounding sound, the small music dimmed by the fact that you're not inside. But you hear one noise that is unusual for this town. You've been here for quite a few years now, and you've never heard anything like this before. You look up to the sky, just past the setting sun, and you see what looks to be a meteor falling from space and crashing down. Huge plumes of smoke you look at, and as you spot it, it's falling miles and miles away from town, but it's still, its entry into the atmosphere was still loud enough for you to hear it. And as you look, you realize it's not a meteor, but a ship. It falls past the horizon, and the door behind you opens again. Poncho, do you want a drink? I know you said my creds are no good, but come on.
Yep, I'm sorry, but I'm still on the clock. If you don't mind, just get another mug ready for me in a couple of hours. I have to go check out something out in the bluffs. I'll be back in a bit.
You sure? You being safe this time of day? It's you won't be back till way after nightfall.
I get the feeling that whatever is out there needs someone to look out for him. I don't know. Call it gut intuition, but they're gonna need some help. And he heads over to the lizard. What do you say? What do you say, Thistlebush? You want to go for a little bit of a nighttime run? Pets the lizard on the head, and he hops on. Yep, I'll be back in a couple of hours. Mind the shop while I'm gone.
All right, Sheriff. You stay safe.
And he heads off.
The travel it takes around 2 hours before you're even cresting the point where you can still see the smoke billowing. But as you do, there is another thing, almost like a beacon, that is calling to you. A huge bolt of this almost purple light with these multicolored streaks, and it shoots up from the crash site up into the sky, lighting up almost the entire area, and then after a small, only 2-3 seconds of pulsing, it dies back down again. Your Thistlebrush stops in their tracks, looking at the beacon, and then turns their head slightly, but even though they can't fully rotate their full head, you know that they're looking toward you for some form of instruction.
He hops down. Is the beacon like small? Is it small, or is it like a big
it's at the crash site. It was small from where you are. You can imagine it was also pretty small from like the point, but it was still bright enough that it kind of lit up kind of your area. You can still kind of see it. Night has very much fallen at this point, so
hops off Thistlebrush, looks out, looks back at Thistlebrush, like, all right, you wait right here, all right? I'll be right back. And he looks out towards where that beacon is, pulls like a bandana up over his face to protect him from the sands and blowing winds, and heads off in that direction. And because he's a kangaroo mouse, he doesn't walk. He does that little hop thing that kangaroo mice do. Beautiful. So he just hops in that direction.
Could you give me a perception check real quick, please?
Sure. Perception. There it is. That is, where did perception go? Perception. That is mysticism. What is it under?
Mysticism. So they're all alphabetical.
Oh, I see. That is 15.
As you approach, you see other streaks of light. These two almost like leaving these blade patterns, these green blade patterns in the air, as there is this rising rising line of this like green streak. You spot that someone is using these almost like roller skates, but instead of wheels, they are blades that are leaving almost like a light pattern streak that they're able to almost fly with these. The person has this like neon blue hair. Actually, Sky, would you like to describe yourself?
I look rad as hell. You see a girl no older than maybe like 17, bright blue hair, pink crop top, gray baggy jeans, little band-aid over her nose, goggles on her head, and her clothes are like ripped up. She's probably got bruises all over her. She looks beat to shit.
And then at the other end of this plume of smoke, this almost camp, there is this almost walking fire. Very, like, less fire, more like a lava. You can see the like these like cracks of someone, and the cracks being these like you see like molten rock, and then in between the cracks you see like this glowing red over the other side of this camp walking around. Azam, would you like to describe yourself?
Yeah, Azam is a very tall Ifrit man. If you've never seen an Ifrit before, they look kind of like humans, but large. In his case, larger and bulkier. His brown skin is accentuated with blackish coal-like crust over certain parts of extremities, leading up to gigantic horns. 2 sets, one big set and one smaller set, peeking out over his pointed ears. Underneath all of that coal, though, there is this bright sort of glint of, well, fire. Or at least it seems like it. Underneath his skin, his coal-like crust, and even under his horns as well. His eyes somewhat glow. He's dressed in, spacefarer wear, with a sort of cropped vest of a quilted material, a white shirt with an orange and red sort of neckerchief, and nice slacks that tuck down into tall padded boots. His arms are bare, though, because he pushes his sleeves up.
Poncho, you have gotten to extremely close to the crash site. You can tell that the ship that flew out of the air has been torn almost completely to pieces. But what's weird is every piece you come across seems to be from something different. Like 3 or 4 ships all clashed together in the sky and then fell to Nos. I'm now gonna leave it over to you. You see these 2 figures, and yes, you see like a small camp ahead. Like people have gathered themselves, and you can see some drag marks from people hauling things back and forth. And although you can't see any like fire, you do see these 2.
Hey there. Y'all okay over there? Saw your beacon and figured maybe someone needs some help.
Can I do a vibe check on this Yoshiki?
Yoski, yeah.
Yoshiki.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that a sense motive, or can I just check the vibe?
I think sense motive is a vibe check. Yeah, sense motive is a vibe check. WallE, you can set the DC for this. Anything you want, and you can give any response to whatever the rule is.
Of course.
I would also like to do this check if possible.
Absolutely. Same rules apply.
Okay. Give me that vibe check, y'all.
What am I rolling?
Sense motive. It's a sense motive. Yeah, everyone's rolling a sense motive. WallE's just setting the DC and describing how that
would
affects.
a 37 pass?
Jesus Christ.
Jesus
No.
Christ. I set the DC to 40. No. You can tell it. They are. This is someone who honestly, genuinely, is looking out for you. Is concerned about you because they saw something that saw a sign of that people might be in trouble, and now that they saw this beacon, is kind of putting 2 and 2 together. These people may need my help.
As Azam turns to face you, although you don't know his name yet, you see that like coal black bristles form a very sleek, shiny beard. And there's this brief moment, because he's not going to hide it, this brief moment of apprehension before the mask settles in, and you can't tell what he's feeling anymore. We could, maybe. What's your name, friend?
My name is Poncho. I'm the sheriff of the town not too far from here. 2 hours that way, Nutrino Downs. We got a inn if you need it. We got warm beds. We got food. Bunch of friendly faces.
Azam,
Mm.
can I try and do the talk?
Yeah, sure.
I still imagine that the three of you are quite far away. So there was like the initial Azam Poncho conversation was fully yelling, and then you see these light streaks as. Oh no, actually,
Absolutely.
Sky is on comms, right? So Sky, you
Yeah.
could whisper that to comms on Azam.
You definitely do see though now that you're close enough, and now that Azam's turned to you, that there's a big hole in his shirt, right underneath that vest, and there's a lot of like burnt crustiness to the edges.
Do you look hurt?
My stamina's great. My health is at 6, so yeah, I look very bad.
I would like to make a medicine check.
Absolutely.
To check them all out. To give them a good visual up and down. Oh, I got a 22.
These, I tell you what is your health, Azam?
My health is 6 out of 35. So Azam, this Ifrit man does not look good. He looks like he's been severely injured, but you can tell that he's tough. That he's just putting up with the sheer amount of pain that he's in. And you can also see that some of the crust-like scales on his arm have clearly recently flaked off, because the skin underneath them, or the skin that's now showing, is glossy and it looks like fresh skin.
I'm gonna be honest with you. It looks like y'all been through it. You look.
We really have. Oh my God! Thank you so much for showing up. We were so scared. You're our hero.
I'm no
We
hero.
could really use some help.
I'm no hero. I'm just a concerned citizen. Now, what we're gonna do is this. Do you need some first aid? I can help you out right now.
We need a lot of things, mister. First aid being one of them.
All right. And I would like to do a read motive on.
Absolutely, at 100%. Sky, this is you. You set DC.
Can I also want to ask, are Eigen, Theriac, and Scrap and Company, are we all also here? Or are we somewhere
You're
else?
like under the engines, so it's like because specifically Azam and Sky went off to like scout and look around. They found Poncho in that, and so you.
Okay, I just wanted to see if we witnessed what Sky just did. That's all.
So I got a 17.
No, Sky,
Yeah,
you said it. Yeah, you said it.
Did you want to succeed this check?
It's up to you if I succeed.
16. You said 17, right?
I said 17. Yeah.
Ah. Said it for 16.
You solved my puzzle. So yeah, he's doing sense motive on Sky. What did you get from that?
Sky wants you to feel like a hero.
Okay.
You can kind of tell this is an
It's
an
a bit.
act. Yeah, an act a bit.
So when the way you're like, because you're overacting it and just going hard with it, you can tell he is no selling it at all, but not in the way to be rude, not in a way that of like jerk kid stop blowing like wind up my ass, but more of a thing of like, this is something I've heard way too many times. This is something I've heard people say to me year after year, day after day, week after week. What you said to me is legitimately the equivalent of like saying, hey, it's really nice outside. So to him, it's just like, he's just taking it in like, thank you very much, but it's all part of what I do. And he hops back over to Thistlebrush, opens up the saddlebag, and pulls out a first aid kit. Because he's in a Soki, it's like big in his hand, so he hops back over to you guys. And he puts down the first aid kit in front of you, and it's like, if you want, I could patch you up just a little bit so we can, maybe get you two on your feet and we can get you to the next town. It's gonna be a 2-hour walk. I want you at least to be well enough and strong enough that you guys can make it.
We have some friends far more injured than us back at camp. We wouldn't be able to thank you enough.
Okay. So you have
the
4
the
people
wind
here.
blows, and because this is like a desert at night, it is like cold. Poncho, you're like a little more like used to it. You could make it back like reasonably, and you know how everyone else could make it back. I'm just informing you that it's a couple in the minus at the minute in terms of degrees.
I will say, as someone who has a feat toughness, I have enhanced physical resilience in harsh conditions, and long exertions do not easily tire me.
That's true. You do have a very injured squad, though.
It's true.
So, yeah. You could make it. I want Poncho. I want you to have all the information of just like getting back and stuff like that. Feel free to continue.
We've got some friends who are in, I don't want to say worse shape.
Are they worse than you? Because
Depends upon your definition, honestly. I think I got it the worst, but a friend of mine also is missing half their body, so
see, missing
We're
half
real
their
down in
body.
the dumps.
they can regrow.
All right. Okay. That's okay. You got someone who can regenerate from a very grievous injury. All right. That's one thing. That's probably someone that's gonna need a good amount of bed rest. You got a big fellow like you. Got a big old wound right there in your chest. Let me guess. What was it, a blaster shot?
No, I literally point to the ship where there's a big old pipe just sticking out of the ground. It was bad.
The pipe is all
you are.
singed. You can see.
You're definitely built of sterner stuff. And he opens up the little kit and he starts setting out things like bandages, a little bottle that says disinfectant. He pulls out a little cotton swab. He goes tap tap tap, and he hops over to you. He's like, "If you don't mind, I
Go ahead.
up the wound, schemes it up. So where to 4 of you from, if you don't mind me asking?" He pulls out a little patch that tapes it up, puts a band-aid over it, and has little band-aids have little smiley faces on it.
There's the sound of like sizzling every single time you put something to his abdomen.
What is
That's
it?
right.
A space god? What is it? Aesir solar system?
We're currently in Vanir. VANIR.
No, where are we from?
Aesir. Yeah, you're from Aesir
Aesir.
solar system. Yeah.
We're from really far away. We're from the Aesir solar system.
You're definitely far. You're definitely far away from here. You're in a whole new area, that's for certain. And he takes the bandages off and he pulls out a little tiny blue bottle that's blue, and you see like an Ifrit face on it that's giving a wink that says "good for Ifrits," and he sprays it on your wound, and he's able to place the bandage, and you don't hear the sizzling noise. It sounds like he just had a little bottle of first aid medication just for Ifrit, so the bandages don't melt away on their body. And when you spray it on, you feel like this, almost like a cooling sensation, like when you put icy hot. It's like, ooh, hot, icy, relaxing.
Oh, damn, you're certainly prepared.
Well,
do you get a lot of Ifrit around here?
I've had my experience of doing field medicine in the past.
Also, it's not just good for free. We're not the only people who run warm.
Oh no, yeah, you're definitely. It's not just good for it. It's just that I don't know. This company likes to use Ifrit as the mascot. I think his name is Eddie Ifrit. There was a whole campaign they did here on Planet Side. It was like, Eddie Ifrit says always bundle up when you go out in the desert. Eddie Ifrit says don't hold a metal rod when it's thunderstorming when it past 7 p.m. That kind of stuff, little kind of friendly public service announcements.
I
I'm a
really don't mean to
mascot.
rush you, but
Great.
our friends are.
Oh,
our
I'm not calling you a mascot. It's just we got a very
It's all right. Come on.
We got an eccentric journalism crew here. He puts a bandage on you and wraps it up. All right, there we go. That should hold you over until we get back to town. Do you other 2 friends? Well, not the one that's regrowing. What about your other friend? Do they need some help?
Well, see for yourself.
Oh, all right.
Sky does lead you in, Poncho. This almost looks like someone is assembling a ship to build, but it is all gone the wrong way. The wing is like stuck upside down in the sand dunes. You walk past the pilot's chair, which has it seems like almost like a robotic arm is like loosely hanging out of the pilot's window. There's like a scanner which you can see is like pinpointing the center of Numors, which is the city on planet Nos, which is where you are. There is a lab that completely trashed and again turned like completely wrong side up. You make your way over to a huge engine. You can feel the heat of it as you get close. It's clearly like just being used, and you see a group huddled underneath. You find out where that arm has come from as you see another Yoski matted like just like a brown rat with their right arm missing. They are sleeping on a large white wolf person who has a duster jacket which is covering both of them that they've taken off and are currently using as a blanket. And next to the pair of them is a teenager about Sky's age, you can imagine, possibly like 1 or 2 years older, who has a huge tourniquet around their leg. Clearly they got really badly injured in the in the fall. But next to all of these, you see another Yoski. Aig, would you like to describe yourself?
Aig is a little rat lady. She's got white fur, except for one little patch of black fur over one eye. And she's wearing like what is normally like skin tight pink armor that's got some shreds in it, and she's got a maroon cloak that has also seen better days. And she looks mostly okay right now. It looks like a lot of her injuries have healed. You can see like where they were in her clothes, but she doesn't seem to actively be bleeding or anything like that nearly as much as her companions. And she is kind of just looking a little forlorn a little bit.
Would I be next to Theriac?
I believe Andre, that are you? Do you need tending? Because I feel like that would be what Aig is doing if that is the case.
Yes, I believe that is what we said last session.
Yes.
The tending.
And
yes.
this Yoski, it seems to be tending to a bright, like neon pink hoverboard, which is currently hovering about a foot off the ground. And on this hoverboard, Theriac, would you like to describe yourself?
On top of the pink hoverboard, there is like a almost black, like egg carton, like being used to like potting container that has soil in it, which itself has on top of that a beaten up and like slightly like cut, peeled like garlic bulb with a face. They have like 2 eyes and a little mouth. And over their right eye is a like green, like scouter looking like smart glass. They have a long stem and like fronds that are like pinkish purple magenta. But those are also quite quite beaten and like much sparser than usual. They seem to be very much like half awake at most right now. As well as from underneath the bulb, you see little strands of root, some of which are embedded into the soil, and some of which are like hanging of the like carton. Yeah.
Sky is on Poncho. You arrive into the camp, and you see all of this in front of you.
He like lifts his hat up above his head, like rubs his forehead, like he's just taking this all in. Wow. All right. Anyone here know first aid also?
We've already
was
done a
taught
lot of touching
yesterday.
up.
Friends, we brought somebody here that seems to be happy to help.
Sheriff. Right? What's your name again?
My name is Sheriff. My name is Poncho. I'm the sheriff of these areas. I'm the sheriff of Nutrino Downs. I saw your crash from my town. We saw you crash. I saw your beacon, so I rode out here to help you out. I only have my horse, my steed out there. That's all I got back for transportation. It's gonna get mighty cold in about a couple of hours. It's gonna probably hit negative temperatures. So unless you can handle it, it's going to get rough.
I can keep us nice and warm for the evening. I tap the side of the engine.
All right, big fella. If you can keep yourselves warm, but I'll see what I can do. Maybe bring you back some provisions, some blankets, whatever you may need. Maybe
Well,
see if I can get.
You're from this planet. What would you suggest is best?
Honestly, I would suggest that I get you back to my town. I mean, well, I thought it was only 4 of you, but since it's so many of you, I don't know if I can bring you all back with me in the least same amount of time it took me to get out here.
Well, I think if it's possible, are there places we can stay? Are there things we can
There's an
buy?
inn. Scrap. Sorry.
On you yelling scrap, the one-armed matted brown rat kind of what
Scrap, main body of the patchwork. We could, with a little bit of rigging and maybe some treads for the sand, we could turn it into a mobile caravan, couldn't we?
Myself and Keelan are kind of already hello. Who is our new friend?
This
Sheriff.
is the sheriff.
Yes, I'm Sheriff Poncho. I'm the sheriff of Nutrino Downs, not too far from here.
Scrap, our pilot.
Nice to meet you, Scrap.
Suppose I haven't introduced all of us. I'm Azam. That over there is Sky. The pot plant is Furiac. And our friend here is Ike.
Nice to
Keelan,
meet all of you.
Flair, Sheriff
Points to
Poncho.
the white wolf as Keelan and the other teenager as Flair.
Well, if there's like supplies and things that we need, maybe some of us can go with you.
Not a
and-
bad idea.
Maybe then, Azam, it won't be as hard to keep things warm. You won't have to warm so many at the same time.
Maybe go back with the weakest now. Get them in an inn.
Could do. Azam, to your point, me and Keelan have been trying to, like, grab the main hull. He points over to a thing that he started working on earlier, which is he flattened all of the, like, a bunch of sand out and then made some markings and has, like, started building almost like he has not ready at all yet, but almost a rig for like a wagon to pull the main hull of like almost just the rec room onto these wheels and to use it as some sort of wagon. I can get that if we hustle and we all do it together. We can get to this this town.
Nutrino Downs.
Nutrino Downs.
I feel like we might need a couple more supplies just to keep it afloat. I don't want it to get damaged before we can even get there. Plus, we'll need some steeds to drag it.
So
it might be best that we take 2 trips.
One for provisions and steeds, and one as a group.
well, I mean, I'm happy to haul this around. I don't think Flair is in any position to be walking anywhere. Quick question though. Poncho, was it?
Right.
What's the town like? We're not going to end up walking into some kind of cannibal camp or something. We're not going to be used as easy sacrifice.
we can trust him. He's got a good heart.
Yeah, we're just a simple, sleepy town that's just doing our best to make it from one day to the next.
Well, that sounds nice, actually.
Rolled sense motive, and I got a critical success. Well, all right.
That sounds really nice. Is it are the people all right there?
All the people there, the nicest people you can meet.
Well, that's much better than where we came from, so maybe this is a blessing a little bit.
Like I said, we got warm beds, plenty of food, and the best home brewed beer you could ever come across on this side of the galaxy.
Why don't we all go back together now, and then come back with steeds maybe in the morning?
I don't think Flair can move much, and Keelan won't want to leave him.
I
Scrap,
tell you what.
do you think you can make it with just you 3 here, and 4 of us can...
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, one of you 4 go with Poncho, and I will get working on making sure that when you guys come back, there is at least something that we could sit in and haul. Kanan will look after Flair. Flair can help me with mechanics of buildings when he wakes up.
Okay.
Guy, you want to grab Guy?
Here, Flair, take your roller skates back.
Yep. Okay, sure. Thank you.
Thanks for letting me borrow them.
Flair is in this like hazy sleep, but then as soon as you say thanks, he like wakes up immediately and then whips his head round to you like, what is wrong with you? What is happening? Do you shit in them? Why are you being so nice?
Are we in earshot of the sheriff?
No, you're within eye shot, but not necessarily within earshot.
I do have a touch of the vapors. I'm awfully weak from the fact that our ship crashed.
Is that a yes? Did you shit in my fucking... Are you fucking kidding me, Sky?
Wait, are you literally asking me if I shat in something?
Are you literally denying that you did not do that?
Go back to bed. You've given me a lot to think about, Flair. I've got work to do.
He's in the doghouse.
Okay. Settles back in, and then you can like, even though he like lays down to like go back to sleep, you can hear him like undoing the straps and like looking inside, unsure as you walk away. Yeah, you're back together.
All right. Is your friend gonna also be okay, Nemos, is the Theriac?
Oh, will Theriac come with us?
Theriac just like looks towards Poncho and like very like hazily like lifts one of the roots and is like, "Are you in Altaga?" or a Dipodamus.
Okay,
Or-
yes, it's enough. Furiac, just go back, get some rest.
They're speaking in tongues.
I pull out my scarf, which now that I'm pulling it out, you can see there is a bird mark on it, because I used it to wrap up my wound. But it's super long, and so I'm tying it around the pot, and I put Theriac's pot on, like a backpack.
Like a Bjorn?
Like
Yeah.
like a
Yay!
like a caboose.
We're gonna get to know each other real well.
So the
Does
Poncho
this
looks.
mean I get my board back?
I figured you're gonna need it if we're gonna all get there fast enough.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you.
My name is Sheriff Poncho, Sheriff of Nutrino Downs. Nice to meet you, sir. Dipodai, if that's what you were asking earlier.
Dipodai.
Yeah, so Dipodai, if that's what you were curious about earlier. I heard you mumbling it.
I whisper, like, a lean in, and I whisper, Furiac prefers doctor, not sir or ma'am or any other honorific.
Thank you. Sorry for misgendering you earlier, Dr. Theriac. I am a Dipodai. My evolutionary trait has caused my back legs to evolve into a backwards bending knee that allows me to spring and hop throughout the desert planet to those desert dunes, and also keeps my toesies nice and safe as I walk through the sand.
That seems very convenient.
Oh, it is very convenient, but downside is my poor little legs is kind of brittle, so I try not to do too much physical labor with it.
Oh,
you
of course.
understand?
Well, thank you for guiding us back, and for opening up your town to us. We are very outside our scope, and also our ship being broken is quite distressing.
To be
So-
frank, I don't know if we can even call it a ship anymore.
Well, that's quite upsetting. So
Yeah.
I
You can call it a ship to begin with.
called it. Well, it flew. It worked.
I mean, technically it flew.
I'm gonna take
Legally
off my
speaking.
backpack. I'm gonna take off my backpack and look inside and say, "How do you feel about raccoons?"
Looks at the bag at the raccoon. Is a raccoon in there?
How do you
Um,
feel about raccoons? And then you can see what's in the bag.
Well, I feel okay with
Anyway.
raccoons. I mean, it's a
Okay,
raccoon.
yeah,
Is
there's
just
a raccoon
a.
in the bag.
I'm just
Oh.
a little guy. You look at this
Oh.
raccoon, it just looks like a normal raccoon, but then it speaks with language. I'm just a little guy.
Well, hello there, little guy. My name is Sheriff Poncho. I'm the Sheriff of Nutrino Downs. Nice to meet you.
I'm just a little guy. And then is picking, gathering almost like mothballs and placing them in the bag. Just kind of cleaning the bag as they're in it. But doesn't seem to even though it spoke to you, doesn't seem to register that you're speaking back. Is just kind of, it does very much just seem like a wild animal, but can speak. As it just keeps, I'm just a little guy.
Once again, you see Poncho just acting like, yeah, this seems about right. Just accepting this stuff.
You all make it back to the lizard Thistlebrush. You will make it back to Thistlebrush. Andre, I say.
Let's Procyon Loader Minutia Halma.
Oh, Furiac, please just sleep.
What are you asking?
That I don't believe that the specimen that we have named Guy is necessarily an extant subspecies of raccoon, and so I have
Okay. It's wild time stuff. There's no, the raccoon is not really a raccoon,
I mean, it could be a raccoon.
but
we don't
it's
really know yet.
maybe the best word we have for it is raccoon, but it really is more of would you say, sort of subspecies.
I see. Excuse me. What was your name again? Raccoon. If you want to be called a raccoon.
Oh, the name of my raccoon?
Oh yeah, the name of your raccoon.
Well, he just says I'm a little guy, so I call him Guy.
Excuse me. Guy. Is that your name, or is that the name you want to be called, Guy?
Yeah, I'm just a little guy.
Okay.
There
We're
you
not
go.
I'll
sure.
refer to this guy then.
Yeah, we're not really sure he can understand.
Oh,
It doesn't necessarily seem to be a mode of communication as much as repeated vocalization.
I see. Well, last I know is that when someone sets their mind to be something, I feel like it's in our duty to respect that person's wishes if that's what they want to be. This little guy is saying took this form of a raccoon, so obviously this little guy wants to be a raccoon. Despite whatever it could be up before this moment in time when it was introduced to me as a raccoon, I suppose it's just in the past. But right now we have a little guy right here who looks like a raccoon, so I'm gonna call him a raccoon. Nope. Enough of this. Let's go on outside and get y'all back to town so we can get you nice and safe and get some food in your bellies. And he
thank you
heads
so
over
much.
to Thistlebrush.
All right.
You get on over to Thistlebrush. Thistlebrush is this huge. It's a very specific type of lizard. I believe it is a girdled lizard. So it's this like horned spikes adorn a lot of them, except for the top, which has a small saddle that's attached to their back. It is massive. Like could fully, it's horse-sized. For human context, it is horse-sized. This huge lizard. Poncho, you get on over to it. I don't. We can decide. Would you say this could fit like 2 people or just the one?
I think it definitely could fit 2 people.
Definitely fit 2 people.
Definitely could fit 2 people.
And then.
All right.
They're so radical.
Yeah, this is Thistlebrush and Thistlebrush. No, Thistlebrush is friendly. Thistlebrush ain't you friendly, Thistlebrush? Yeah, you are Thistlebrush.
Is that 2 including you, or is that 2 not including you?
This would be 2. I think it would be 2.
2 max.
Including 2 max people can fit on it.
Why don't you go take a ride with our friend the sheriff here, and I'll keep on going.
All right.
You all right there, Theriac?
Well, do you think Ig and Theriac would count as like one person, maybe?
Nah, that's all right.
You could ride on the board, since you have the board.
No, I know. I'm saying, could Ig hold Theriac's pot?
I think Theriac's happy where they are, right?
You've got a little papoose for them, so
Oh yeah, that's
I could ride with our new friend.
You
That's
could
okay.
fully fit. Theriac could fit with anyone, though. So it is down to Andre who Theriac wants to go with.
Theriac's not gonna fight anyone. Theriac's just like
Mhm.
existing right now.
Mm.
You do hear just like Canis lupus, Homo sapien.
Excellent.
Sheriff, do take care of our friend Ig. We care about her a great deal.
Don't worry, I will take good care of Ig while I'm up here and make sure she won't fall off. You have ridden a horse before, haven't you?
Oh, what's a horse?
I mean, not a horse. I mean a steed. You've ridden a steed before, haven't you?
A steed.
Yeah.
Which is
One of these large, beautiful creatures right here.
I haven't had the pleasure. Does it like to be ridden, or do
Thistlebrush loves giving rides, don't you, Thistlebrush?
Oh, okay. I give it a little bit of a scritch, like in.
Achievement unlocked. Past Ig's anxiety check.
Give it a little scritch, and I didn't want to make a big show of it, but would Thistlebush be afraid of any small creatures by any chance?
Oh, afraid of small creatures? Oh no. I don't ever recall if this bush ever been spooked before.
Okay. Cool. And I will just hop on the back of Thistlebush.
All right, and he hops on the back of Thistlebush. All right, y'all ready to go?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It's a court of darkness.
I lean over to Sky the moment both of them are on the lizard. Okay, what is going on? Why are you acting like Ike?
We need to get stuff done as quickly and efficiently as possible. Ike's
Oh.
method can work in the right context.
I do not think that sheriff here needs to be fooled into helping. I think that's just...
No, but it can't hurt.
Alright, if you want to act like little Miss Cinderella rat, by all means.
You all make your way to Nutrino Downs. The Poncho wasn't lying when they said that the temperature is going to start dropping, because even though it was so painfully hot earlier, now it is the complete opposite. The complete absence of everything has made the sand immediately cool, and as you are walking it drops to, if there was any like moisture in the air, it would be snowing. It gets so cold. Huddling yourselves close, it takes about 2 hours to see Nutrino Downs. That it crests the hill, a small, broken, rebuilt, rinky-dink little town. You see a big sign, holographic in the sky, on almost one of those like gas station turning signs. Big thing that says "Welcome to Nutrino Downs," holographed. You, as you get closer, start hearing very light, muffled music. You see, in this small town that surely can't fit a lot of people, you see lights poking around, but a lot of light flooding out of this one, almost the largest building in the town. Past these small little buildings, you see a very well-kept but makeshift farm. A few grazing creatures, large, almost ostrich-sized birds, big pill bugs that are playfully walking around, and a stable with a 2, 3, 4 of these same huge lizards, but all of them different from one another. As Poncho arrives into the town, you can hear the music pouring out of the saloon, and there is light and color. It seems like a very lively place. It's filled with people laughing and talking amongst each other. But you arrive in.
Whoa.
Ain't never been to town before.
In general, no.
Oh, wow. Well, welcome to Nutrino Downs, Sky.
It's awesome.
It's very different than where we were.
Oh, yeah?
Where we've been.
Ike and I are from like a city planet.
Hmm.
Got a city folk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you something about Nutrino Downs. We may not be a city, we may not have tall buildings, but got friendly faces, we got warm beds, and like I said, plenty of spots where you guys can get some supplies and rest up for the night.
And a cool sense of fashion. I'm gonna need to get me a hat.
Oh, if you need, we can get you some clothes. We got the general store not too next door to the inn. see if I can get y'all some clothes too, cause, well, I hate to tell this, but looks like your threads have been bit torn.
I haven't even. Oh, this is very disappointing.
All right, I'll stitch him up for you.
Do you know the shopper personally?
Oh yes, I know. Well, I'm the sheriff of the town, so I try to make it my business to make sure I know everyone who lives and works here. Let's see. Well, we're handling. We have the haberdashery run by Mr. and Mrs. Sandabam. They're wonderful. They're a wonderful couple.
Wait, hold on, Mr. and Mrs. Sandabam?
Yeah, Mr. and Mrs. Sandabam. They handle the haberdashery. They're a nice little unit. They love each other very much. But let me tell you something. They make the best hats you could ever see in this side of the planet. He tips like this black leather hat that he has sitting on top of his head.
It is very nice.
And then we got old Miss Wilkes. She handles she's a tailor of these parts. She can stitch you up a outfit, maybe a scarf or I suggest nothing is more better and efficient than a poncho.
Well, I hate to ask any more of you, but would you be willing to introduce us to these shopkeepers and maybe explain the situation since you've seen it with your own eyes?
Well, I was gonna do it anyway because we have a small town and you eventually met everyone no matter what. So, yes, I will.
Thank you so much. You're so kind.
Yes, well, like I said before, just doing my job. And he heads towards the inn and pushes the two doors open, like they swing open, and I think like the music stops.
Yeah, everyone turns. The music cuts out. Everyone turns to Poncho and these new people who no one's ever seen before walk in.
Hello.
No. Oh my God, no. Shut up. God, I love you. You're embarrassing.
Okay.
Just lay low. Lay low.
They are all seemingly waiting for Poncho's go ahead.
Folks, these are the people that crashed not too far from here. They need our help. Why don't we all treat them with the love and respect that we would treat any stranger that comes through these towns, that we want to make sure that they're healthy and safety. How about we give them a nice, good old Nutrino Downs warm welcome?
Oh, we didn't need an introduction.
This at the bar at the very end, there's this like blue-skinned, very tall, almost matching Azam's height, muscular woman who raises a glass, is like, here, and the town like, here, boop, 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 and then music starts.
Okay, I don't know the song from Back to the Future 3, but if I sang it, I feel like we will get copyright strike.
Yeah.
I watched a lot of movies that looked like this that could have gone really bad for us. I'm telling you guys right now.
But, well, it seems like Poncho is just a very good sheriff who knows the town really well.
You should tell him that.
Poncho?
Yes?
It seems like you know your town very well. Do you think that we have anything that we should be careful of? Not to be disparaging or anything. It's just that we've been to places where it's tenuous or something like that.
You're asking... I think what you're asking is if, despite this town having its wonderful quaintness, you wonder if there's any bad gas here.
Just wondering if there's anything we should avoid or be wary of.
Of course. Why don't y'all sit down and get comfortable? Can you give us a round of drinks for our new friends, please? Not you, you're underage, but the rest of you.
The tall Lashunta a woman passes by the bar asking someone else to take over, and walks over to the gang. Well, howdy there, Poncho. You getting up yourselves a little group of friends, is it?
Well, you know what they say, a stranger's just a friend you haven't met yet, but just people who need help out there in the bluffs.
You must be proprietor, right?
That is
Zo.
correct. Todd Van, it's nice to meet you. This is my establishment. It's nice to have guests. We don't often see anyone else new, so it's always nice to see some fresh, and I'm sure you all look a little friendlier when you're a little more cleaned up.
I promise we're very friendly. My name is, didn't I say Zam? My name's Zam.
You did.
Here's Sky. Firiak is...
Hello, dear.
And over here we've
interesting.
got Ike.
Hello,
It really is a
dear.
pleasure to meet. Can I do a diplomacy check to just, push off the friendliness?
You don't
Keep the
really need to. You're a friend of Poncho. You're a friend of the town.
Bold of you, sir, to assume I'm underage.
What's the legal drinking age here, ma'am?
Legal drinking age here is 18.
I'm 18.
Sense motive.
Can't be breaking no laws here.
Roll a 10 balls.
It's very much
every year.
Yeah,
They were about to sit
what year
down
every year.
just to tell us the one rule you can't break is trying to drink underage. That's it.
Yeah, we allow everything in this town. Pistols at dawn. You can fight another member, but if you drink underage, we will kick you out of the town forever. I'm just joking. I'm messing with you.
Remind me, what is Sky's actual age?
17.
Sky, come on.
Come on, dude, I'm sitting in a tavern that looks like this. I want a beer with the most foam possible. And I want to clink it together with somebody else, and I want the foam to go everywhere.
Do I hear? Do I
want
hear?
to walk.
Yeah, you can hear it.
I want to walk into the saloon and have the piano stop. Oh, that's the vibe I want.
I lean back to Vedian, and I say, give her the sarsaparilla, the good stuff. Give
Do I
it,
hear that?
give it a good amount of head.
Right, you are, Sheriff.
Sarsaparilla, I like the sound of that. That'll do, actually.
Oh,
Thank you,
sarsaparilla,
Sheriff.
sarsaparilla. Now, I get you may want to experience a nice frothy cup of beer, but let me tell you something about sarsaparilla. I loves me some sarsaparilla. Sarsaparilla is sweet, syrupy, kicks the nice little bubbles in the back of the throat. If you get a good amount of foam on it, well, you'll see. When the sarsaparilla shows up, he takes a mug of it. Do y'all come on, everyone, pick up your mug,
Just
sarsaparilla.
a good amount of cold water would be great for me. And for my friend.
Of course.
Right, you are.
I was
so
gonna
pick
go,
up
that, that's okay. I'm sure I can wait. And she takes out her communicator, and her face drops a little bit, and she says, "Sasparilla's fine for now."
I want to partake in the cultural norms of the Nutrino Downs.
Hell yeah, drink up, Firiak.
Can I pour like
Hold
a
it to
little
their
into
mouth.
your roots?
Oh,
Okay.
May I propose a toast
I will do that.
A toast.
To the sheriff who saved our lives.
The sheriff.
Were we that bad?
Dr.
I don't know
Theriac,
if I've seen us worse.
the past tense is the only thing I would edit about your sentence. We're pretty bad.
Well, I had faith.
As you all cheers, there is a poof from outside, a loud bang, and then another.
I'm out the door.
You hear from the open of the doors. Sheriff!
Hell.
pulls out a watch. Dang, 11 p.m. All right, which one of you boys is coming through my town this time? And he stands up and he heads towards the door. If you don't mind, I got some work I gotta do. Just take a second. I'll be right back.
Do you
Do
need
you like some
any help?
company?
Occupational rituals. I'm very excited.
Oh my god! Oh my gosh! Oh my god, Sheriff! Do you need a deputy? Cause Sheriff, I'll let you know right now, I would die for that position. If it's open.
At this point, like the careful mask of like no pain, nothing's bad, just drops as I look at as Zom looks at the sheriff and just gives him the look that fathers give. When you're just like, just give it to her.
Yeah, he matches Azam's look of like, yeah. And he turns around like, all right, well, if I'm gonna get some work done, I am gonna need me a second pair of eyes. And he does a thing where it's like, does anyone around here know where I can find me a second pair of eyes to help
Got
me
two
out?
perfectly good ones
I
right
want
here.
to say that there's a moment where I looked around the bar, really excited to see who's it gonna be, and then turns back to see this guy sitting right in front of her.
I will kill everyone in this bar. I know I can do it. Don't test me.
Okay, that's enough. That's it. Too far. Too far.
I did get a little heated there. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He looks at Sky. All right. Oh well, Sky, as is my duty and power given to me as a sheriff of Nutrino Downs.
We don't have time for this. We gotta catch some crooks, Sheriff.
Hey, no, there's not crooks. It's actually just some rapscallions. But you are now deputy. Gives them a little tiny star.
I'll learn the difference. Oh my god. I'll learn the difference eventually. You just gave me a little tiny star?
Yeah, it's a little tiny
gold
deputy
sticker?
star. It says it's a little like plastic silver star that says deputy on it. That you may think he has surplus of them. Like, Azad would know that he has surplus of
Yeah,
these.
no, there's so many.
Yes.
This is the best day of my life.
He looks back and like, should I give the others too?
I just start drinking water nonstop.
Ike does not look interested in that at all. She's just looking very aware and watching what transpires.
I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna yell out the door. This town ain't big enough for both of us.
No, don't. We don't do that here. And he walks past her, like pats her on the shoulder, walks past her going outside. Just follow my lead. Just follow my lead and just be quiet and watch what happens.
Anything.
You see at the end of the town 3 lizards, and sitting atop is one of them is the Gripply, the toad humanoid that you saw earlier, and flanking either side of them are these 2 Vesk, bulky lizard looking. Both of them are holding these rifles almost playfully in their hands as you walk out.
Oh well, I didn't know the Monitor boys were out of prison.
Poncho, you took from the Baron. We can't be having that.
I see. Hey Charlie Monitor, how's your mother doing? Did you make sure you wrote to her as soon as you got out of prison?
Yeah, she's very good, Poncho. Thank you.
Okay. Georgie, did you also write your mother?
No.
Georgie.
No, we didn't.
Okay. All right, Georgie, Charlie, you know what's gonna happen next, right?
Our hands are tied. We heard.
Okay.
The Baron is mighty mad.
Okay. All right. All right. If the Baron is that angry about whatever I took from him, just let him know he's not going to get it back, and let him know that what he wants, he's never going to get. No matter how many of you boys that he hires, pulls strings and bails out of the prison of the Hooskows to put him on his side and in his pocket.
This don't need to be a fight, Poncho. We're not here to burn down your little village here. Just here with a warning.
Oh, a warning, I see. And what's your warning this time?
Baron's got big moves. Big moves that are happening fast. We don't want to repeat what happened last time, do we?
When he says that, whoever's outside with him, they would notice that his right hand twitches just a bit, and he relaxes.
I'm right beside you. I'm the deputy.
Oh, then Scott definitely saw that.
Yeah.
You know, you better pick your words better, Bigsley. If you talk more about those moments, you know, things may get a little bit dangerous.
We're gonna be coming back in a week. We want...
All right.
We want at least 2 tons of trinium ore.
2 tons.
If we
That's a
don't
lot
get
of ore.
it, and if we don't get it,
I see. Well, you tell the Baron that he's not going to get his ore. And no matter what he does or says, he won't get his ore. So why don't you, like I said, leave? You two, Georgie, Charlie, you go write your mama. And tell the Baron that we're concluding business for the day.
the sun's setting on your ride here, Sheriff. I want to make sure that you see the moon.
I like to think I got a couple more hours left of duskfall.
Come on, boys. The 3 men on the lizard's turn. They begin to ride off.
I slowly take 2 grenades out of my pocket and look to the sheriff.
No, wait. We don't need any of that.
Okay. What happened last time?
Let's go inside before I discuss about that one more. But I just lost a lot of people last time. He heading back inside the bar.
As you head inside,
I look around
Poncho,
at the lack of other people around us, and I go, okay.
walking back inside, Poncho, you're almost immediately met by Pecken, a blue velociraptor-looking humanoid, this like long neck and these very sharp teeth. Poncho, they keep coming back to us. We gotta start taking some action.
I know, but he ain't fight. You know, y'all ain't fighters. You know this for a fact. If I can only do it, I can only do as much as I can to scare him off. If we turn around and we fought back against, I don't know.
They're getting more frequent. Their visits, they're stealing from us. I haven't heard from New Sands in weeks. I don't think they're there anymore. And they were the last people who stood up. Poncho, we don't have a lot of time left.
We don't have a lot of people.
Sheriff, I know that it's my first day on the job, but can I offer one piece of advice? One piece of advice that I know you'll have success in the palm of your hand. You only need to do one thing, and there will be nothing that can stop you from achieving your goals.
I love that Sky's voice has changed to be southern because she is a deputy now.
I'm a deputy.
Deputy.
Oh, Deputy Sky.
All right, Sky, what is this advice you have?
Tell Azam about it. Trust me? Tell Azam what's going on in this town, and we won't leave until it's sorted, Sheriff. Whether any of us want to or not.
He looks at Sky, then looks past Sky and Azan, who's probably still at the table just sipping water.
Azam is fully pulled. He's set Theriak down beside him, and he's pulled off his scarf, and he is straight up like with a little ring in it, like darning it the whole clothes.
And it's funny. It's the Baron, but he's barren of resources.
Oh, shit. Yeah, Sheriff, is there a hospital in town?
Have you been funny
Or a
this
greenhouse?
whole time? That was very cheeky.
You didn't see.
Oh
You
my
didn't see
gosh,
him.
that took me out. That took me out completely.
You didn't see. Hold on.
I can
Hold-
be a kidder.
I mean, you remember when they were on Smoke Wine, right?
I do. That was yesterday.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think it might have not left the system, and now that there's half of them.
That's true.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Very funny, Theriak. And I just go back to my darning. I'm not paying attention at all. I thought the sheriff and Sky had things, so I'm head down.
Everyone who was inside noticed that the music did quiet. The music kind of didn't necessarily stop, but it got a lot quieter, and a lot of the chatter got quieter as people listened out. This is clearly something that they're used to, but still very scared of. Also, because this is a West saloon, there is people playing live music, but they're all on these slightly more poppy, futuristic instruments, but still playing a very much a Wild West tune, but a futuristic one.
I was expecting good old-fashioned jizz. Star Wars
It's
jizz?
jizz, yeah. It's jizz.
My
I
apologies.
love that is the word for it.
It is the
I know.
word. It's
It is the word for
bonkers.
it. He looks at Sky, looks at Zan. I get that, but y'all just got here. Y'all are busted up. I wouldn't want y'all to make our troubles your troubles.
Sheriff, you see those three people at that table there?
Yeah?
They are good people. They are talented people. They are capable people. And I promise you, cross my heart, hope to die, you aren't going to lose those people. Trust me, you'll see what I mean as soon as you tell Azam about all this. I have a feeling he's going to take it very personally.
All right. He stands up. You say so. He turns, he walks over to the table. Grabs a sarsaparilla off the bar. He walks over, sits at the table, sets it down. I was told by this guy that if I talk to you about what the problems we have in our town, I can trust you to help out.
How bad is it?
All right, well, give you the abridged version, or do you want the long story with my whole convoluted backstory involved into it?
That's the moment where Azam puts down the needlework and looks you in the eye. If it's bad enough, That sky pointed you to me. Tell us the whole thing.
All right. Well, the start is the fact that I became the sheriff of this town because of happenstance. Years ago, I came to this town along with my crew, and just came here just like you. We made a plan, decided we just needed a place to stay, a place to relax. And eventually we got used to this place. It's a beautiful town. What we didn't know, though, was, this place is resting on some very, very important ore. See, Nutrino Downs is one of the last few places on this planet that is rich with ore. That can pretty much, power anything that could power anything. As you see, we're a town in the middle of the desert, and you can see we're just as fine. It's because of the ore that we're sitting on that we mine out of every single day. The Baron, he wants that ore. There are a few towns left that we're sitting on rich ore veins. And he went from town to town, either buying them out or just, hiring any kind of gunslinger or ne'er-do-well that was sitting up in the hoosegows and send them out to town to pretty much scare them from him. Well, he thought that he could do it to this town, and me and my pals, we didn't take that too well. So we formed a bit of a last stand. And,
How many did you lose?
there were 7 of us. I'm the
And
only
you're
one
the
left.
last.
Yep. I'm the last one. So,
Okay.
as much as I don't want you to get involved in my problems, feel like I won't get anything done unless I just ask for help, so I'm asking you.
You got involved in our problems.
That I did.
So we owe you one.
Can you tell us about them? The Baron and all? We have very assorted skills. So maybe there's something that could help.
Well, I'll say this, the Baron he's powerful, he's rich, got money. He got money they could just throw around to anyone. And when you got that kind of money and you want more money, you'll do whatever you can to obtain that money. He's not beneath of hiring, like I said, crooks, thieves, and murderers just to get the job done. I will say that gentleman Azell, he doesn't got many skills, but he is very formidable in hiring people who do have skills. And I get the feeling that if he dropped this 1-week timeline, he's gonna probably recreate the last stand that was happened before. If that happens, it's gonna be a whole bunch of people coming through. With the full intent to wipe out everyone here in this town so he can just move on in.
All right. First thing tomorrow, we collect our provisions, send them over to Scrap so we can repair as much of the patchwork as we can, and you and I start working on defenses.
All right. That's the case then. He reaches into his pocket and he sets down 4 tin stars. I need your badge back, Sky.
What did you wrong?
You're no longer a deputy.
What? Why?
Well, because all 4 of you are official lawmen of this town. And he slides 4 marshal badges to you guys.
Oh,
I think you might just have got an upgrade. Sky.
Is Marshall cool better than a deputy?
Yeah, definitely.
I really like the sound of deputy, though.
You could still call yourself deputy if you'd like.
I shot the sheriff, couldn't shoot the deputy, you know. Doesn't sound quite right with shot the marshal, you know.
Yeah, no, you're still deputy, but now you get a better star to go with it.
Can I be a marshal and a deputy?
Yeah, you definitely.
Deputy.
You'll be a deputy to me if that helps.
Ike. Oh, you're so cute. I'm gonna take the marshal badge.
Does this mean I get to kill?
Furia.
The first words they say coherently. Do I get to murder?
First, Furiac, you're going to regenerate, and then we'll talk about you killing.
Okay.
What time is it?
It's
It's-
midnight.
It's roughly about 11:30.
People are leaving, going to bed. Peckin, who is the blue velociraptor, is still like at a table. They're still up. There is a Tidvan is the Lashunta is still at the bar. There's this like black scorpion looking humanoid talking to the bar lady as well. But everyone else is kind of has left.
All right, hang on. I'm gonna get us a room. Be right back.
Walking over. You catch the back end of a conversation. The black scorpion humanoid speaking to the Tyvan, who has introduced himself earlier. Like, I just think it's silly that we don't just up and go to them. And like, I know, sweetie, but it's, hey there, darling. Hi, how you doing?
I'm good. You in what army, buddy? Where are all these people? You think you're gonna up and go straight
Listen,
to him? Gonna slide
I think
ahead
just
and cover
waiting.
my deputy badge.
I think waiting the 7 days is. We've only just recovered from last time. A few of us at least think that going out might be best. We lost Newt Sands, and we think we've lost Newt Sands anyway.
Classic Newt Sands. Listen, I'm on board with this plan, bud. I just need to know what the plan is. How many guys we got? How many guys they got?
They look over to Poncho. One. I'm not very good with a gun, but I'm smart. I run the brewery. What you're drinking is mine. It's. I feel like an attack now will. I don't know. He's not a. Bless him. Kizan is not a. Is not a fighter, but they care a lot about stuff. Darling, how can I help you? What can I do you for?
I just need how much for a room for 4?
Oh, you're friends of Poncho's. We don't need no money.
No. I'm gonna give you money. I don't like owing people things.
Well, surely we'd be owing you. I saw you walk out there with the sheriff. That must mean
Okay,
that
so
you're
we both agree
deputized
that-
in some way.
So we both agree that us helping the sheriff is the payment for the room,
Yeah,
and our contract is complete.
sure.
Pleasure doing business with you, ma'am.
It's a pleasure doing business with you.
Hey, what was your name? Scorpion Man?
Cousin. K''ZIN. Cousin.
Well, Curzon. If, I like your plan, dude. You just let me know if you get more people in on it, eh?
Everyone who could possibly be in on the plan is sat at your table, I think.
How do you feel about infiltration, double agent kind of thing?
I'm
you might
not
not have
a
enough
fighter.
manpower to
I'm not-
attack. I'm not talking about you, Curzon. I'm saying you're the brains right now.
Poncho is the
what-
brains. There is ways that we can help. We'll do whatever we want for Poncho. Poncho has saved us countless times. I just don't know if waiting is the best call.
That's what. I'll talk to Poncho, but you got a card or something, Curzon? Right? You own the brewery, so we'll find you
You can
there.
just come by the brewery and you'll find me.
All right, I like you, Curzon. You've got a good aura about you.
Thank you.
dude.
I like you too,
Be seeing you around.
ma'am.
New deputy in town. Go back to the table. Got us a room.
Oh. Well, that's good. How did we pay?
By helping the sheriff.
Oh.
No, yeah.
Oh,
Y'all are helping us out. I wouldn't want y'all to pay for it. Oh, officially working for the town.
So, what about the people that work for the sheriff? Why? Or, sorry, not the sheriff, but with the people that work for the Baron. Why do the people that work for the Baron work for the Baron?
Because the Baron can give them money.
Is that it all?
Yep, that's it. You give someone money, they'll do anything you want. Especially on a planet like this. So if you notice, there's, well, not a lot of resources around here. So if you got money and you can pay for getting off the planet, paying for supplies to come in and out, well, if you got enough cash around here, you can do whatever you want. Sad
Our
truth about it.
Our planet's about the same.
Yeah. Well, and then
what are you gonna say?
well, I think sometimes there's more than just money.
Well, if you feel there's more than money, I could probably, we could assume, when it comes to situations like this, you hire someone fresh out of jail, of course they're not going to have much job opportunities. So he takes advantage of that. Being the fact that there aren't many towns around here, when you come out of jail, there's only two people you can turn to. The nearest town you can go to, or the Baron who can guarantee you work. It's less of a thing of money, but also a thing of having control over your own life. People like that feeling.
Well, then can we replace that in some way? Is there anything we can?
That's the problem, Mike. Technically speaking, this person's weak point is their pocketbook, right?
Exactly.
And this town is what would fill their pocketbook. The only thing that can hurt a Baron is not losing this place to it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know the game of this place too well. Look, we're all haggard and tired. You should get some rest. And set your armor aside. I can patch up the holes.
Okay.
Take Variak. I should probably have a word with the sheriff.
I guess I'm going up to bed.
Yeah, I'll go too. I'll take Theriac.
Hey, Sheriff, just so we can avoid the area, do you know where the Baron hangs out?
Well, the Baron definitely does not hang out anywhere near here. Definitely a several hours trip far from here. If you look out towards, you probably can't see it from here, but keep on heading north, you'll see a big old city. That's where the Baron resides.
Ah, okay.
Think of that one.
Oh, what was the name of that word?
The Baron doesn't necessarily have like a place that they stay. They're like heard to like be bouncing around all over the place. They are known to be in. They have gone inside New Moors occasionally, but New Moors is like a that city. It's like almost bubbles and barely anyone knows what goes on inside it, and that is like a couple of weeks trip away. That's like very far, but. The Baron himself, you have kind of heard mixed reports as to where they are, but there is a city, like hours and hours away, that is what Poncho, being on this planet, would consider a city, but it is not necessarily what Sky, Gazam, and Theriac would consider a city. It's like, it's bigger and has more places to shop and go around. It has a bank. It interacts and gets trade in, but isn't like a big futuristic thing. It's, I think, still very Wild West 1980s city rather than a 1980s? No, 1800s. 1980s city.
1980s city.
No, 1800 city. Like an 1800 city. A classic, not even that, a classic like Wild West thing rather than anyone else. Yeah.
Like a fresh up and coming city.
Very much so. That's a great way of putting it, yeah.
Okay. From reports say that they could be out there, but who knows?
Okay, a little more of a trip than I thought. I was gonna sneak out. I have an idea for a double agent thing, but we'll cover that tomorrow.
Excuse me?
Good night, y'all!
All right.
Whereabouts do you live, Sheriff?
I live here in the town. Got a house on the edge of the
Let's
property.
walk over. Come on. I could use a nice bit of fresh air.
Oh yeah, sure. And gets up, pays the tab, and he'll walk outside, and he will take Thistle and lead them through the streets to a small little house that is kind of like on the edge of the city, of the town, and it's a quaint little house. You see it has a mailbox, a nice little fence around it. It has a porch, a nice little hitching post to tie up Thistlebrush. And there's a rocking chair on the front porch. You see also like leaned up against the wall is a really, really old looking rifle that doesn't look like it has been used in who knows how long. He will head up to the front door. He unlocks it and heads on inside, doing the cute little hop, hop, hop.
Do you have this place with anyone?
Oh, you know, I share. I would say that the person who lives here with me, they aren't here right now. But that's another story. So, what did you want to talk about?
Well, I wanted to talk about how this place can be defended, or if you want to take a fight to the Baron, but hold up. I know that face. I've had that face. What happened?
I'm not going to say that it was one-sided. It wasn't a one-sided fight at all. It was just... there was so many of them, man. It was just... say about 20 of them came through. Just a bunch of hired guns. We thought, well, we did defend it just well, but just the numbers were overwhelming. There are plenty of places around here we could fortify, put traps, station a couple of watchtowers, but people here aren't soldiers. They aren't fighters. They're just people trying to live their lives.
I know how to work with that. I'm talking about what happened to your partner.
Oh, what do you mean? What happened to my partner?
You used to share this place with someone. They're not around anymore. I've seen that face. Another story, sure, but if you want to talk about it, I feel like you need to talk about it.
Well, the person that used to be the deputy of this town. He stands up, walks over, hop, to a little cabinet, opens it up, pulls out a bottle of brown liquid, a little tiny shot glass, pops it open with his tiny, cute little mouth, holds the bottle with two hands because he's a tiny, cute little Jerboa rat. He pours himself a shot. Hold on, he does it like this, right? So the bottle's like this big in his hand. He's like, God. And he holds up a little shot glass like this. It was just too much for him. They couldn't handle it.
I wanted to go away, didn't they? Talked about taking you with them.
They said a lot of things. They would talk about, maybe I'll do this one day. Maybe I'll go to the far side of the planet, see how far the desert goes. Maybe maybe lead some pill bugs and do the pill bug run, lead the pill bugs about the plane to help them graze. They had a lot of things they wanted to do, but just the life of a deputy really wasn't something they really aspired for. But I told them, I said to them myself that if I'm not here, then who's the job going to fall on? Who's going to protect this town from not just the Baron, but anyone? So, when I told them that, they turned in their badge. And then they left Planetside to go see their mama, and they're coming back in a couple of weeks. You see kind of like as he's talking, as you're panning around the room, then you notice, you see a lot of pictures of Poncho looking very happily married with another Isoki, just looking very happy. There's no signs of they were gone or they passed. Plenty of wonderful pictures full of happy memories around this place, but you get the feeling it's like he said, they just didn't want to be a deputy anymore, so they turned in their badge. It's just that maybe Poncho took it a little bit too seriously.
Look, every single couple relationship I've ever seen, even mine, they come across a crossroads. You have different wishes for the future, or you have different goals for yourself. Me, I was a man with a plan all my life. So much so it took me away from my partner. It just happens sometimes, but it's not personal. It just means that you're both growing together, and it's leading you down slightly different pathways. Still parallel, still together, but
That was your rat. They're an amazing gun. They're an amazing shot, though. That rifle that you saw outside was theirs.
Hopefully they can make it back before week's end.
Yeah. Here's hoping they do come back. Honestly, I do miss them. They left 2 days ago.
They'll come back.
Oh no, I know they'll come back. She said she's going to come back. Like I said, she's just out visiting her mother on another planet.
You're lucky. She's coming back. Not everyone is so lucky.
You know, I'm gonna ask you now. Was there or is there someone important to you?
Yeah. Was. I was engaged.
And was it did they leave, or was it were they taken?
They weren't the ones who got taken.
He hop over to the cabinet, pulls out another glass. This one is a little bit bigger.
I don't drink, but I appreciate the offer.
Of course, maybe some sarsaparilla then.
Sounds nice.
Pours a little bit of sarsaparilla in a cup. Slides it over to you.
It's been decades.
Well, how about this? Toast then. To new pals and the people that mean a lot to us that aren't with us anymore.
New friends and old friends. Cheers.
Cheers. That's the good stuff. The sarsaparilla is real good.
So foamy.
No. Telling you, it's the good stuff. I mean, gotta let it go down easily. Let the bubbles go to your head. Woo! Give me a second. Boy, it's a kick.
And as the pair of you share this drink and laugh together, is there any other scenes that anyone would like to do?
Just like, are we all in? We're not all in the same room, or are we?
No, you're in different rooms.
We're in different rooms.
You can share a room if you'd like. You kind of have. You walk upstairs of the saloon, and every room is free. Really, no one passes through here. There's nowhere to go. So they kind of built. You get the idea that they built these rooms in hope that someone would visit, but no one really does. Each room has a thick layer of dust in each of them. All of them are well kept. The sheets are folded, but you get the sense that after changing the sheets every day, and this turned into years, that there was really no one was coming, so they left it. You can tell that there are some sheets that are like sun, how the sun like drains color. The sun has just kind of drained color over like specific parts as the same sun has just risen and fallen in the same part of some sheets. So you have free reign of any bed.
So, Ike will, I think, go into a room and close the door, make sure it's locked behind her, and take Verbal out and set them free. Like, I'm so sorry. I don't know if everyone's going to be okay with you. I certainly wasn't sure if that lizard was going to be okay with you. It just... I think we might need to work on something. And I want to see if Verpal can help me determine how much access to, like, electricity we have around this building.
Okay. Give me a computers check, please.
Okay.
Yeah, computers, as you're like feeling the energy around you.
Oh, okay. Good. 29. 13 plus 19 is that, right?
Yeah.
No, that's 32. But
Okay.
Oh, there you go. It's grand. It still gets it by a lot
win.
many.
You
win,
feel like
but
you're
no-
still
no.
good.
it's so great.
16. These are new dice. 16 plus 13
That's 29.
That's
is
29.
29.
That's 29.
Yes.
That's
That's
29.
29. Yes.
You have a really bizarre sensation here. As there are things that you can interact with, you can see and feel the like energy of the universe, but they're not necessarily threads. The thread to each thing is small, tiny. You can barely see it. It's weak, but when it connects to a thing, it is like the metal ingrained within certain parts of this structure specifically are like giving off like this large electrical like power source. It's almost like the metal itself is a power source. But in terms of like high technology that you're used to connecting with, you can't really feel anything to the point where there's not, I mean there are, but it's not really satellites in the sky flying around this planet. At least not where you are. Everything is dusty and old, and nothing is high tech. Everything that this metal that you can sense, you can almost see, this metal is the technology almost. It is giving things power. But it itself is not necessarily technology. There is a silence that you can feel around you. You can still see stuff, like when you're on the patchwork, there were threads everywhere, multicolored, and it was connected to all these different things. But here it's like all of the threads are very weak, but they are still hitting kind of the same things. Am I kind of making sense as to what I'm...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so I will scoop Verpal back up after they've investigated, give them a little piece of cheese, and say, okay, interesting, but I think we can figure something out. I have maybe an idea. And she gives Verpal a little tickle, and we'll get some rest.
May I say, Sky, holding Dr. Theriak in the pot, behind her hears Ike's door close and goes, "Oh! I definitely thought Ike was gonna take you with them. Doc, what is your self-diagnosis? Can I just plop you down in your own room, or do you need to be, like, supervised?"
I'm sleepy.
Okay, I guess you're coming with me. Good thing I don't like alone time or anything. And plop him down on the dresser in our room.
You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me.
I'm just imagining.
That seems like a song.
Theriac, what's 2 times 2?
Number.
Ah, what's your favorite part about this town?
I liked that lizard.
What was the question I just asked you?
The number one.
You think you're gonna remember any of this tomorrow?
What?
You got a friend in me too, Theriac.
I'm just imagining Guy popping out of the backpack tomorrow morning, and like tomorrow morning you just see him sprucing up Theriac like he's a pot plant.
Alright, I'm gonna go to bed, Doc. Good night. Don't die on me overnight.
Wait, where are we?
We're
Where am I?
in a saloon of some kind.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay, do you need water? Fertilizer?
Mm. Water.
Water? Okay, thank God, because I was so scared you were going to say fertilizer, and I don't know where the fuck we're going to get that. It's a good thing you wouldn't remember what's going on tomorrow anyway. Okay. Theriac some water.
You go downstairs and and
Wait, I gotta go downstairs for water? God, I'm starting to actually miss Saga.
You do. You go downstairs. There's a there is like quite literally a pump that's next to it, and Tidevan is cleaning up, and she's like, "Oh dear, you can just. It's alright. I got some here. You don't need to pump every time. You just need to pump to get the water in the system, and then yeah.
Okay, so I can just take the cup?
Yeah, you can have that cup.
Thank you, ma'am. I need to get a hat.
Deputy?
It'll probably look cooler. Yes, it is I, Deputy Sky. Good night, ma'am.
Night.
Azam comes home late, obviously. Home. Azam comes to the saloon late, obviously. He double checks to see if Aig left out her jumpsuit or put it on a bed that I guess is his. And if she did, he spends the evening just patching things up, not making some good seams, clearing up the rips, and then with a grunt he just goes to bed.
And as our newly formed crew, and actually as our deputies, our marshals,
Posse,
lawmen, posse, as our posse settles down for the night, that is where we're going to leave our little story here today. There we go, and we'll be picking it up next time as we're in our Wild West arc, gang.
Pew, pew, pew.
We have everything I
so
wanted.
Many
We
ideas.
had fucking pistols at dawn. I'm excited.
I'm so jazzed.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, guys, for going for being here with us. Thank you so much to WallE for being our very first guest. I'm very excited and very new part of the crew. It's extremely hype.
Thank you.
Do we want to do one last round of socials again, and then we'll call it a little day there? Yes.
Sure.
Wonderful. Hi everyone. How you doing? My name is Matt, Captain Krail, and all things. You can find me doing this. You can find me on Twitter. And also if you're like, man, I like this, I wonder what it sounds like when Matt inevitably adds Wild West music to this, and it'll like noises, well, then listen to the podcast. The podcast will be... we have a little backlog of podcasts, but we do have 18 episodes out and up on Spotify, and all podcast mediums. So go listen to it there. It's very good. It's I edit them, so does Dylan, and so does Momo. We all do it fucking together. It's great. We have a good little team. Anyway, that's me done.
Me.
There we go.
Hi, it's me, Andre Rivera Art. That's my full legal name.
Perfect.
That's it.
Incredible.
Oh my goodness.
Do you want to do a little... We'll do a little bounce around. Werewolf. Normally.
Hello, my name is Nordine Ali Kadir. My pronouns are he, him. You can catch me online at Werewolf Fields, where I do all the things. And also, I wanted to add something. Where's my prop? I had a prop for this. Hold on.
Oh,
I've
I
got
love
a
prop work. Hold on.
I got my prop. Don't worry. The Welcome In over here has established a little relationship with the Familiar Shop. So pretty soon you're going to be able to get our own characters as soaps.
I believe that's a thing we can talk about.
Oh, are
is
we
it?
allowed to talk about it?
Are we? I don't know if we're allowed to talk about it.
It doesn't matter. This is episode 21. Let's do it.
Oh, it is. We do have there.
Legally, I don't know if we can talk about it.
Here's the thing. Right now, you can go check out a whole list of soaps from the Welcome In, including a Welcome In branded
That you
soap.
can definitely.
That
And
you
more-
can definitely do.
ours will be
and there
coming
is
soon.
some coming that we can.
That's what I'm
that are
saying.
Atomless themed. There we go.
This is called the Firebrand, based on a Zom. There's going to be one for each of our characters. And you can check out the off-the-rail character ones right now. It was really fun working with the Familiar Shop. And that's all I want to say.
Yeah, they really
very good. We like them a lot.
rock.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Dylan.
Yes, hi, I'm
Hello,
Dylan.
my love.
Or Super Dylan everywhere on the internet. I am a games designer and actual play entertainer. And you can find me here, or you can go to superdylan.com and find everywhere else that I'm at. And that's the end.
Beautiful. Thank you. Beautiful, wonderful Momo O'Brien.
Hello, I'm Momo. You can find me everywhere at Momo_O'Brien. I make content about immersive experiences, and it was such a delight to have WallE here. You're an absolute talent. Had a very good time.
Speaking of our first ever guest, the person who's going to close up the show, our absolute winner, our delicious little kangaroo mouse. WallE, would you like to do some little socials?
Y'all, it's me, WallE. You can find me on Twitter at WALLE132, like the cute little Disney robot, where I'm talking about all the shows that I'm in, the things that I do, and what's on my brain. And I will say that I just finished a show for Mondays, but I got another show coming up pretty soon on Mondays, because I was in a Dragon Age TTRPG on Fridays, but it's getting moved to another day, so it's going to be on Monday. So catch me over at GGK Game Nights every Monday, playing some Dragon Age TTRPG. Also check me out over at Black Girl Mage every Wednesday for some good old Strixhaven U. The Strix are all black POC Strixhaven game. And yeah, that's where you can find me.
Beautiful.
Just check me out there. Just talking about stuff. Say hi to me. Whatever. I don't care.
Perfect. Thank you, gang, so much to be here with us. I appreciate it so much. And the next time we fly through the Atomless Sea, I hope you are there to fly with us. Push.